Hey everybody, NeverEnuffAmmo here. Going to be going over the Taurus PT1911. Let's just get right into it. I want to make this as quick as possible. It is a basic 1911, so there's a lot of things I may just kind of gloss over, because if you know anything about 1911s, it's pretty much the same. I mean, pretty much most 1911s are manufactured identically. Basically, purposes, you know, for what you would use this for, pretty much anything you want. It can be a range gun, home defense gun, it can be something you throw in the vehicle. Some people even carry, you know, 1911s concealed carry. In fact, a lot of people do. I personally wouldn't. I prefer a smaller gun, but that's just me. A lot of people love carrying them. It is a single action pistol. It's not double action, or you know, striker fire or anything like that. It has a hammer. The only way this pistol will fire, as just you can see, I've got the hammer back now. By the way, this is empty. The gun is empty. Nothing in it, no magazine. The only way it will fire is if the hammer is back. If the hammer is not back, nothing happens. What you get in the box with this is basically the gun, 2 magazines, your warranty and manual, your round that was fired, your shell that was fired from the factory, and a little cleaning brush. The size on this, it's about 8.5 inches long. It's about 5.5 high, about 1.5 inches wide at its widest point, which is going to be the ambi safety there. And it's got a 5-inch barrel. Weight on this is the solid steel model. They do make a few different models of this. This one is 38 ounces. This particular model is 45 ACP. They do make it, Taurus does make this in 38 super and 9mm. Capacity on this one, well, pretty much on any of the 45s you're going to get, it's going to be 8 in the magazine plus 1 in the chamber. Obviously it's a 1911. If you know anything about 1911s, there are tons upon tons and tons of accessories you can get for these things. They make 10 round, 15 round, 20 round magazines. Wilson Combat's got a lot of good stuff for 1911s. Accuracy on this, perfect. I mean, it's far beyond what I would have expected. It shoots better than I do. I get, you know, at 25 yards, 3-inch groups, and I am not an excellent shot at all. For self-defense purposes and stuff like that, I'm good. I can hit a target, but by far I'm not anything special. The gun is very accurate. Ergonomics, it's got plastic grips which are aggressively textured. I personally don't like plastic. I will probably end up replacing them with some rubber grips, just some rubber flat panel grips. I prefer that. It does have ambi safety here on both sides. It's got the extended beaver tail grip safety, lowered and flared ejection port here, as you can see, works really good. It's got the ventilated trigger, combat hammer. It's got all the little things that a lot of people would add to a gun. Let's say they went out and bought like a Rock Island Armory or something like that for, you know, $400 or $500, and they would add these things to it. This one actually already comes with it, which is a pretty good deal. Now, are these, you know, parts on here, are they the equivalent of what you'd go get at Wilson Combat or some of these other specialty shops that make parts for these? Probably not, but it does what it's supposed to do. And they're nice little extras that you get, especially for the price point. It does have a polished feed ramp inside, and I don't know if you can see that on the thing here. Probably can't, but well, maybe you can a little bit. The feed ramp is polished. It's got a full-length recoil spring guide rod here, which a lot of 1911s don't. I personally like it. Some people don't, and some people just don't care. I mean, you know, don't really think it affects too much. But disassembly on this, it's pretty standard. I mean, if you know how to take apart a 1911, I mean, there's nothing different to it. You know, I'm not even going to do it on here. You can find plenty of videos on YouTube. They'll tell you how to take one apart, but it's identical. This does have 30 line per inch checkering on the front of the grip and underneath the trigger. Not really sure that's necessary, but it's there. And on the back strap here. Now this is, as you can tell, this is a reproduction of a 1911, not the GI model 1911, and you can tell by pretty much by the back strap. Now there's a few other differences. Obviously they made differences. This isn't a standard GI model, but overall this is a copy of the original 1911. Accessories, pretty much anything you can think of. Look up 1911 accessories online and you'll find thousands and thousands of things you can do to a 1911. Like I said, I like Wilson Combat. They have a lot of good stuff. You can get this model with a Picatinny rail right up front, a little tack rail right up at the front end here. You can get it with an aluminum frame here, steel slide, but aluminum frame. You can, like I said, you can get it in 38 Super, you can get it 45 ACP, you can get it in 9mm, you can get them stainless models. I've seen two-tone models. I've seen one that's half stainless, half blued up here on the slide. Kind of reminds me of the SIG Equinox, that kind of deal. There's a lot of versatility in the 1911 platform. Reliability, durability. I mean, it is a standard 1911. It's not a Kimber, it's not a Colt, it's not a high-end Springfield, but it is a good pistol. I've put about 800 rounds through this, and it's been perfect. I will tell you, my only problem with Taurus is their finish. Tends to be, and maybe that's how partly how they save money when they put these guns together. On most of their metal pistols, unless you get it in stainless, their finish, their bluing here, their black finish, it's very thin and it tends to come off pretty quick. You know, keep it, you know, pulling it in and out of a holster, or you know, a little too much wear in here and there, it's gonna come off. Now you can always go back and Duracoat it or do something else like that. That's fine. But that's my biggest beef with Taurus's guns. You know, I'm not big on their polymers, first of all, reliability wise, but their steel guns tend to be really good. I like them a lot. Their revolvers, I like Taurus's revolvers a lot. I've owned a couple of their polymer guns and wasn't real happy with them, but their steel ones never had a problem with. Like I said, other than the finish. This model came out in 2005 and it's got a damn good track record. I had some problems with this one with the extractor when I first got it, and I sent it back to Taurus and they had it fixed for me. And I've heard a lot of people complain about their customer service. I called them up at about 4 o'clock one afternoon, and they had FedEx at my doorstep with an air bill already filled out by 9 o'clock the next morning. And I sent it to them and they replaced the extractor on it. That was when I first bought the gun. I tried to put a couple clips through it and it just wasn't extracting. I knew there was a problem. They replaced the extractor, and since then I've put 800 rounds through it and not had a problem. And I actually looked that up online to see if anybody else had that same problem. I couldn't find any. Taurus's reputation, like I said, it's kind of iffy. A lot of people out there say, oh, Taurus is a piece of shit, whatever. They're just cheap guns. I personally disagree, but a lot of people wouldn't. That's fine. For what I paid for this, I'm very happy. Very happy with this gun. I got no problems, you know, with defending this gun, you know, up against somebody who says, oh, you should have bought a Kimber or should have bought this. That's fine. You want to spend $1,000? Great. I spent half that, you know. The appearance, it's a damn good looking gun. I mean, like I said, I'm not particular on the plastic grips, not my favorite, but it's a beautiful pistol. It's a 1911. I mean, what can you say? It's a 1911. The value on this, I got this for $500 brand new. I've seen them anywhere from $479 to $549, and for the equivalent, another you know, pistol you could get for that, another 1911, like a Rock Island Armory or the Springfield GI model. You get the extras on this. Now, you don't get the finish. Like I said, that's my only beef with Taurus. I'm not a big fan of their finish, but for the price, you know, I got no problems with it. Overall, I think this is a really good value. If you're looking for a 1911 and you don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want to have some of these little accessories like the beaver tail and the ambi safety and the combat hammer and the ventilated trigger, this is a good deal. I highly recommend it. So that's about it, man. Take care. We'll see you later, and thanks for watching.